Hi, I'm Dr. Carey Heller, or Coach Carey, as the kids like to call me. All right. So one of the fun things about obviously is virtual background. One of the fun things about this is I can create whatever I want, pretty much. But what I think is really cool, though, in thinking about sports a little bit, is that you also really get to develop your own, create your own sort of path in a sense with sports. And so that's one of the things you want to think about with your child is the idea that you may have a plan for them in your head of what you want, or you may have no plan at all and just see where it goes. Your child may have a very clear path, or may have absolutely no path either. But the point is, you don't necessarily have to plan every single piece of it out. But the point is to have at least some sense of what are you trying to strive for, what is your goal, and how do you also help your child to keep it being fun? Because the problem is, if you have absolutely no plan whatsoever, then if your child has certain aspirations, it may be a little harder to get there if you don't have a structured plan to it. On the other hand, recognizing that just because your child is capable of playing at a higher level with their skill doesn't necessarily mean that that's always the right fit. And so I think that's also a really important piece of it too, is to recognize that kids keep, excelling at up to a certain level. And again, it makes sense to play against kids that they can be competitive with, but at the same time, recognizing that at some level for kids, they sometimes hit a wall where it may not make sense to keep progressing at a higher level, even if they're capable of it for a variety of reasons. And so I think that's an important factor when you're looking at how do you help your child? Because in the end, think about it. I mean, again, if your goal is to help your child to play, a sport in college or professionally, that's a very different path than probably the vast majority or a large percentage of kids who or parents who really are interested in their kid having fun with it, playing with it, maybe play through high school. But, the point is that if you're planning to if your child's planning to make a career out of it, then you're going to take a very different path probably than, a child who really, or a parent who just wants their kid to play for fun. And, if it goes well and they can do it through high school or college, great. So just keep that in mind. It is an important thing when you're thinking about helping your child with sports.